Hi everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. On today's episode, it's day 3 of the bonsai road trip east of the Mississippi. Welcome into the Passive Solar Green Frame, everyone, on a back-to-back second day, stormy day. We had some massive thunderstorms go through yesterday and then again today. We've had down power lines in the metro area. We've had loss of power. My daughter lost her power for almost 10 hours. And rain upon rain. I haven't had to water the trees for 3 days. It's been another whirlwind of a ride here with the weather, but I think things are settling in for the night. We are only on day 3 of the road trip. Can you believe that? So of all the things I've showed so far, that's 2 1/3 days of the 11 days I was gone on my real road trip. So the last episode was Steven's backyard over in Indianapolis, Indiana. And so that was the very start of day number 3. I woke up, went to his place, we did our stuff, and then I was on the road. Ooh, some more thunder. I love thunder as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, right? I love the storms. So Steven and I had our chit-chat. You know, it was such a great chit-chat. I had so much fun. We had such great response from that one. And I've got a couple of special posts, one in particular that I want to share with you at the end of this show. So I hope you stick around for that and hear what I have to say about a viewer's comments about that episode in particular with Steven. But we need to hit the road again to leave Stevens. And we got to get to Cincinnati, we got to get to Pittsburgh, and do all of that on day 3, and only 2/3 of it left. That was a quick glimpse at Steven's Bonsai in Indianapolis. Thanks to Steven and Beth for hosting me, put me up in a hotel, got me dinner, great conversation. Now we're off to Cincinnati. So about an hour and a half south and east of the Indianapolis area, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we have arrived at the Krohn Conservatory. Big butterfly over my shoulder there. We're gonna go check out the trees and the conservatory right now. Now every year at Krohn Conservatory, they have a butterfly exhibit, and the goal is to get one of those butterflies to land on your landing card. Well, I didn't have much luck. They will also land on people just at random, so if this freaks you out, I'd suggest not going to see the bonsai during this annual event. You needed to go through the butterflies to get to the bonsai. Yeah, a little freaky for some. And now some trees from the Bonsai Society of Greater Cincinnati. Some wonderful trees, and many, many thanks to Joanne Easley for taking some time to talk bonsai with me.
just met with Chris Baker yesterday. Yeah.
He gave us a lecture and everything. He created that.
Oh, yeah, I just spent about 2 hours with Chris. It was fabulous.
Dynamite guy, yeah.
The trees are amazing up there, and what a super guy.
Yeah.
Fun. Did he do a workshop that he just built this in front of you all? Or okay, yeah.
It was just a flat slab.
Yeah.
He built it. And these rocks were just gathered from the ground somewhere. He just picked them up.
Fantastic.
He's a great guy.
So after going through the butterfly garden, I got to go right into the bonsai display where Joanne from the Cincinnati Area Bonsai Society talked about a few trees and just showed me some of the ropes, and I picked up a really fun thing that I think will have to do with MBS. They have QR codes on the trees that tells the story and the history, and we gotta maybe try that. But that was a fun little visit here to the Krohn Conservatory. So leave it to me to find a tree in a pot. And that's a Hinoki cypress. See some of the root, branch structure in there from the back. But not getting enough light back here, or maybe they cut some things off. But that's a bonsai wannabe right there. And they have one on the right side too. Not too many people, I bet, come back here and look at the branch structure.
And yeah, it's time to get back on the road. A road trip's worst nightmare, red on the GPS, because we've got traffic bumper to bumper on a 70-mile-an-hour highway. Going through the Fort Pitt Tunnel as we enter Pittsburgh. The Fort Pitt Tunnel. We made it to Pittsburgh. Now, the Phipps Conservatory closed at 5 p.m. on day 3, so dinner, relaxation, and a super night's sleep for me until we start day 4. So much bonsai, so little time. Now, this was an 11-day road trip, and this is all through day 3. Some amazing stuff. A fun little bit of pit stops as I tried to get to the next major area to look at trees. I was really excited to get to the Phipps, but they are under some construction right now. I couldn't see the exhibit as it normally would be, but I was going to have a chance to talk with the folks behind the scenes the next day, so day 4. So, I want to talk a little bit about this last episode, the one before this one, which was Steven's backyard in Indianapolis, and we had a nice little interview and talked about this bonsai community and just how supportive everybody was. And so I wanted to share a couple comments. Now, several people just reached out and said, man, thanks for this episode. Great interview. It was great to hear you two chatting. It was really kind of sweet. So now I have this on paper so I don't forget. And I have a few quotes too. So, because, you know, my memory is just not what it used to be. But I was so energized on this road trip because of all of you. And because of the people that continue to comment on current videos, past videos, while I was on the road trip, watching the live episode I did, all that kind of stuff has just been so energizing. I was so pumped every day on this trip to get going. I want to give special thanks to one particular viewer. And so thanks to Lisa, who put a post in after Steven's Garden episode. I was referring to something about the video. We were talking about, getting 2, 3, 6 trees and trial and error, watch some videos and learn about bonsai. Now, is that the only way to learn bonsai? No. And, there's books, and we talked about how there's plenty of books, there's stuff on the internet, there's YouTube, there's you can join a club, you can talk to other bonsai people. I mean, there's a lot of ways to learn bonsai, and I recommend tapping into all of those. But YouTube has been a pretty special, way for a lot of people to kind of feel connected and to be a true bonsai hobbyist and not maybe feel so pressured or under stress or worried about what the high-end bonsai people might think, because we're hobbyists after all, and it's been very well represented as hobbyists, and I think that's wonderful. So she said, Lisa says this, she struggles with the quote-unquote, can I really do this? And I totally understand that. My first year in Minnesota Bonsai Society, I never brought a tree, I never talked about my trees, I just went there, listened to all the stuff, watched everything for a solid year, went to as many events as possible and soaked it all in, and my confidence slowly grew, and then now I really don't care what other people think, I'm just going to do me, I hope you do you, and that's the whole thing, and Steve and I talked about that as well. She feels like she's missed out on some formal training and is kind of doubting whether she can really do this as a hobby. And it can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. And if you have just a few trees, I think a lot of people can do a lot of wonderful things. But I realized I am not doing this because I want to win some award. I'm doing it because it is fun for me at this moment. I will do my best and learn what I can from folks like you, Dave, and be happy with that. Touches my heart to hear that, Lisa, and that's the whole point. We are all here just sharing what we know. We're sharing our journey. We're sharing our goods and our bads, our successes and failures. On a recent show, I talked about my landscape challenge that wasn't quite up to par to Steve's backyard bonsai, beautiful penjing of Central Park. And oh well, is it a bummer? Sure. Did I learn from it? Absolutely. And am I going to keep going? You better believe I'm going to, because this is a part of my blood and everything that I do. Later in her post, Lisa said this, quote, what I'm trying to say is, yes, we can fake it till we make it. It may not be what the snobs will think a bonsai is, but it is bonsai enough for the rest of us. You are speaking my language, Lisa, and I'm so glad you shared that post. I'm so glad you gave me permission to share it out to the whole YouTube community. And that's just it with bonsai. And if I've not said it a million times, well, let me make that millionth time right now. Bonsai is a journey, and it's your journey. So everybody out there is going to have a different perspective. We talk all the time in the clubs, and I talked about it on my road trip, and it might be in an interview up and coming, that if you line up 9 professionals, let's go 10, you might have 11 different opinions because of the person who actually worked on the tree, right? So it's just hard, right? There's a lot of fundamentals in bonsai. There's a lot of rules. But we affectionately joke at all our workshops, some of those rules are meant to be bent and maybe even broken sometimes. And so if you're doing it for you and you're doing it because you love to do it, that's all that I would wish for anybody who gets into any hobby. If you find a passion, do that. Now Lisa apparently is a phenomenal quilter. So Lisa, this is my beg of you. Could you please share some images of your quilting? I want to see your quilts. And there's one on the road, everybody. There's one that's traveling. It's such a high-end quilt and made by many people, I believe, with Lisa as one of them. And I want to see a picture of that too, if I can, Lisa. Please share some photos, and I'd love to share that with the YouTube community if you would let me do that. So that wraps up another one, everybody. It was just to say that, again, a huge thank you for everybody's incredible compassion, passion for being a hobbyist in bonsai, doing what you do, taking care of you and your needs, your desires, your wishes, the mental health piece that Stephen and I talked about. A lot of people mentioned that. It is therapy. It just puts you in your zen. It makes the rest of the world go away. And so don't let the other naysayers, and there's not a ton of snobs in bonsai, but like every craft, every hobby, every profession, everything in this world, there are snobs out there because we're a society of a lot of people just thinking our way's the right way. So hopefully they just have a real compassionate, positive attitude about you and your efforts, and leave it at that. Let's keep the negativity away, and let's keep it positive. And so thank you all for keeping it positive. So much appreciated. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Stephen, for that episode. And thanks to everybody who's made this such a fun journey for me. And we've got so much more to go. This was just day 3, everybody. And I was gone for 11 days. There's a few more videos on the horizon. So as always, please, please, everyone, we'll take care of you. Take care of your bonsai. And we'll catch you very soon on the next one.